Is this thing working? I think it is working. I clicked it and the button didn't light up. So I didn't think it worked.
DougBot said, hi, how you doing?
I've got audio confirmation. I've got bot confirmation, speaker bot. I've got so many things here. I got that to show, that to show, that to show, that to that, and that. And then this just came in 20 minutes before showtime. Got a few comments and questions from viewers to respond to. All of those are actually preemptible, though, in the sense that they are not current troubles people are actually having with computers, except for one, maybe. And then that's not a direct issue. So, oh, and I got to show those. Oh, okay, I'll start with those. I have so many things recently acquired regarding organization. it floats my boat. So these are the Ethernet cable and the HDMI cable that I showed, I think during the collab with Carrie. And I got the new thin cables. Now let's see how this camera is going to show up. Let's see. Yeah, right here. I've got them in this clip here. So they're thin enough that I can just pull them through when they're down at the base of that thing. This one, let's see, should I do this closer? Well, one of the things that I got was something to help with my close-up camera. So this Ethernet RJ45 jack has a cover on it. That's kind of cool. But look at the difference in size in those. I have not tried it yet. I have not tested it. So there's that. And that's what, 30 feet long, I think. And then here's the HDMI cable, comparing it to the old one. Oh man, this is so sweet. I'm just loving that. Okay, now I can't spend too much time on each of these because there's just too much. Now, another thing that Carrie reacted to when I talked about this label printer that I ordered. And the only comment that I made about why I wanted it is because I could voice dictate, and he looked at me sideways. What? You're not willing to type those two characters? Yeah, well, I got a lot of things that I can do voice dictation with. So I've done some testing with this. You know what? I think I need this camera down here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because a lot of you don't care about being organized, don't enjoy being organized, do not understand that. And I got something better to deal with, a better way to deal with this stupid desk camera. And that's what came in 20 minutes before showtime, I think. Now, let's go here. Keyboard camera. So here's these labels. And I'll fix the focus on that. Let's see, Windows key LGI to bring up the Longitude app. And that's right here. If I go to, oh, I'm already on the right camera. So there's the focus line right there. So I'll bring that back here and do focus. Yeah. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to pick these labels up and show them even closer, aren't I? What I thought I was going to want to do was to print sideways on these labels. And turned out to be really easy to do, but that's just too small. That one that says Macrium, well, that is to replace the label on this one. Now, the way I did these labels previously is I typed them into Microsoft Word, made a small font, and printed out a whole sheet. That's just a nuisance. So I don't update them, but you can see that that is way too small. So then it's very easy on this device to do them differently. So here I've got 4 labels on one label, and here's different sizes. And this thing is just so easy to use. Could not believe it. The instructions weren't really very helpful, but it didn't take too long to figure it out. This opens up right here and you replace the labels. It doesn't even need a spindle. Just put that back down, and it's going to burn off that first label if I don't have it in there right. And then I've got to show you this. I just got to show you this. I know it's not computers, but it is about being a computer technician and being organized. But there's other things that I do with labels besides those, and I do want to show those too. So let's go get my phone up on screen. Could somebody give me a read chat, please, just to confirm that that's working? Since I haven't heard anything for a little while from you alls. Let's see, mirroring 360. Is that where my, I think that is. Yeah, thank you, Greg. Let's see, in order to bring my phone up, I gotta get it out of my pocket. I've got to do, I think it's this one. Yeah, screen mirroring. So I want to mirror it to Big Beast. I actually don't even have to open the app on Big Beast because it's always active in the background. Okay, so there, it's up. I'm going to take it off screen for a moment to get to the app. Okay, here's the Easy Label app. And here's the last. Actually, I haven't printed that label yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and print it. So to print it, I'm going to click down here where it says print label. Let's see. Yeah, there's where that's at. Oh, I can't click with my mouse. I have to do that on the I have to touch the button on the phone. So I'm going to touch the button on the phone, but let you watch it print out. Let's see. I'm not sure if there's going to be another screen. Yes, there is another screen. So now I get to this screen. Mirror printing, reverse printing, quantities, print density, and then print label. So I'm just going to press that print label button now. And it's searching. Oh, it lost connection to the device. Oh, because it's powered off after time. All right, so I got it powered on. Hold down the button. There it's on. And then I'll, on the phone, I'll press the search again button right there. I can show you that searching. I should pause the video in the background. There, I found the device. Oh, I'm still getting mirroring. Let's pause that video. Okay. Now I got that paused. I should be able to show you. So here's what's on the phone now. Device connection, and I'll just press on that X1 because that's what it is. And that takes us to here. And then I got print label again. So I'll press the print label button on the phone. Oh, there it goes. It's printing. It's printing. And then it's got, oh, it didn't burn off a label. That's cool. That's cool. But it didn't print the label correctly. You see it's off the edge of the label because it's not correct. So then it's got a tear off right there. I'll just print label again. Oops, not on the computer, Doug. There. Just starts printing instantly. I am loving this thing so much. It's really easy to type things. It's easy to dictate. If I come back here to the device, I'm almost done with this. If I, for instance, just double tap on tools right there, and then down in the in this typing field, you can see where that is. If I want to add something else, I can just press the space bar and then hit the microphone down in the bottom right corner. And what am I gonna say? Hamburger. Boom. It's just that quick and easy. Oh. Yeah, stop listening. Stop it. Stop it. Stop listening. All right. Does it seem like I'm liking this? Okay, so here's another example. I use these labels for cables. I have these labels back here on Big Beast. I have them around through my cable management around the wall. I use these at my clients' offices to indicate what device a cable is coming from. So to have these printed in a device that I can carry around in my pocket, I'm just loving it. I have these boxes in my freezer to organize my frozen foods. I use magnets to hold these on, but I can print those labels. I'm this is what makes Doug having a fun day. Doug, something else I had down here is these my thumb drives. This isn't really related so closely. My thumb drives in this little case. I thought, you know what? I might as well tell them where I get these cases from. I get these cases from these soft pick gum packs. See that case in there underneath there? It's the exact right size to hold 4 of these flash drives. Yeah. Doug likes being organized. The flash drives originally came like this. All right. You guys are all sitting back there quiet, just why is he telling us this stuff? All right, there's more show and tell. I also bought these things. And they just came in yesterday. I am so over Velcro for holding cables together and wire ties. Just fed up with them. It's like here's how it looks actually holding wire together. Yeah. Do you guys remember the day that Doug was all excited about all this little stuff he bought? Is that all of that? Yeah, that's all of that. Oh, that guy right there. Should we just go ahead and deal with all of this stuff? Then I'll come over and say hellos to you. And then we'll get on to things that came to me by email, by comments. Now, somebody asked a question in chat that I know I did not get copied over, but I wanted to address it. I think it was Alice asking about Microsoft doing passwordless logins that I thought would be worth talking about. Is that camera available for me to use? I'm not sure. Oh, it is. Okay. So I was contemplating, I mentioned the other day, I don't remember which show it was. It might have been the show with Carrie, where I wanted to get a different camera for close-ups, preferably something that I could actually turn a zoom wheel and a focus wheel on it. Was not happy with anything that I found, but I did decide that I think I like this direction. I looked this over pretty thoroughly. This is a different kind of, actually I've had one of these scissor devices before, and I probably still have it, but I knew that it was a little bit funky, and this one actually can handle a DSLR camera out at its extended length. So the idea behind that is I've got this panel up here that's really secure and bolted on. I can put this device on there, and then it would sit up here on a scissor. I could just pull it down, and then I can have a Stream Deck button that'll bring up the focus and zoom screen in longitude. So I'm going to be playing with setting that up this weekend. Maybe. I have so many things I want to get accomplished this weekend. There's no way it's all going to get done. But currently this silly, stupid device, it is such a nuisance to deal with for trying to do a desk camera. I tighten that thing back up, and there's been times when you've seen it, I think twice, where this has fallen down in front of my camera number 1. during the show. Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Pop out chat. Best case scenario, showing that stuff inspired somebody to organize some portion of their life. I have done unorganized and I have done organized. Organized is better. It takes some discipline to do it, yes, but it's just better. You can feel more relaxed. You won't have as many frustrations. 927, here is the link. What was that for? I can't see it. If I zoom down, whoops, I'd be on the right screen for that. If I zoom down, can I see what that conversation was about? Maybe if I change that to live chat, will that get rid of that stuff at the top? There. Chevy comes in with a heart. Thank you. William Dawson, hello, Doug. What about the new folder made by the latest Windows update that Microsoft says not to delete? Here is the link. I'm not sure that we're going to need to spend much time with this because it's pretty simple. Don't delete it. I am aware of this. And, oh, it's opening down here. I don't want it down there. All right, let's do it this way. I'll just drag that tab. I want to put that panel down there back on the right thing and close those other tabs that it just opened. You're not seeing me do that. Down here in the bottom right corner, close those extra tabs, and this tab will bring it up. Now this is somebody talking about the issue. I'm not really interested in that. I have read a little bit about this. I'm aware about the issue. There's a folder that on a recent Windows update, oops, here it goes, here it goes. See, this thing just won't tighten up. So in order to prevent that, I got to put it way back so that it's not putting so much weight out here on the front side. Ay, caramba. Yeah, it's there's a folder that a recent update creates on the root of the C drive, and some people wanted to delete it. And there's the conspiracy theorists and people that get all up in arms. What is Microsoft doing? It's related to information, internet information services that you would, if anyone's using it, it's probably going to be on a server. Most people would not need that, but Microsoft needed to put that in order to deal with some kind of a vulnerability. And I did read up about that. I think it was a couple weeks ago. It seems like maybe longer. It's just silly to get all up in arms about that. Just leave it. That video that William Dawson gave a link to tells about it. I actually didn't have the patience to watch the whole thing through. I used the ask button to have the YouTube AI summarize it for me. I'll show you that. Come over here to the ask button. This only works if you have the paid version of YouTube. And yeah, ask about this video. And I just click on this item here that says summarize the video. And it'll give a pretty decent summary of what the point that's being made. The update addresses a critical vulnerability that could allow attackers to gain elevated privileges. Now, my recollection is from reading about it is that if you delete that folder, then that gives the hackers a way to get in. If you don't have that folder present on your computer, then Microsoft is unable to secure it. Now, I'm saying that based upon my recollection of reading up about it a few weeks ago and not studying in great depth, but let's see, the update installs it even if IIS is not active. If the folder has been accidentally deleted, it can be restored by enabling Internet Information Services. Yeah, that's a nuisance to have to go through that. Just don't go mucking around with security things that Microsoft does. And I mean, unless you really, really know what you're doing and you're willing to take the risk. Just, yeah. So anyway, the question was, what do I think about it? So I answered that. What about the new folder? Just leave it. Yesterday, Marsman, busy recycling old computer parts, had a pickup truck box full, you name it, I had it. Now I have room in the basement to start anew. There is a local electronics recycler that if I have enough stuff, he will drive his truck out here and he will load the stuff into his truck. I've had him out here once to do that. Hang on a moment. It's a very good experience, super easy. Now after that, I've taken a couple loads out to his place because they weren't such a large load. I had the impression that he might come out anyway for a smaller load, but I didn't want to have him drive out for that. Yeah, getting organized, getting rid of clutter, such a good thing. John Williams, is that your brother from another mother? This is about the trailer. There's a link in the description of this video to the trailer. The guy was 82 years old playing the drums, and this guy was nimble. He was agile. This was an impressive young elderly person. His hair color matches mine. That was the other brother, Daryl. It's not the hair on your head that's the problem. It's the smile on your face that's the problem. Yeah, Marsman doesn't use the word problem, but I threw that in. New Heart Show, whatever. Oh, John Williams, sorry about your friend. Best wishes to your friends, family, and you. Sorry for your loss. Oh, now this is interesting. Lawn Dog says, in the music section for YouTube, today's trailer showed up there. I need to ask you, Lawn Dog, was it actually my trailer upload playing from my channel, or was it just the same video? That's a very important distinction. I don't think it's possible for my trailer to have shown up there because my trailer is unlisted. It shouldn't show up anywhere. I was going through the music section looking for punk rock. Yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back from you, Londa. Give me an !C. You really need to create a shortcut in your Dragon Naturally Speaking so that it will do the !C for you. I know you don't like to reach the keyboard. Going through the music section looking, and I discover your video. Did you really get my video, or was it just the same music clip? It wasn't Johnny B.
Read chat,
Good.
please.
Okay, I'm going to copy that. Ken Stout, Lawn Dog. That's the best way I could describe it, but I noticed it right away. I think it's still there. It was an advertisement for the channel. It was absolutely your video. Can you give me a screenshot or something of what you saw? Because it just can't be. The trailer's unlisted. Probably not the content of Doug's trailer. You're saying it actually advertised for my channel? The channel. You say an advertisement for the channel. What channel are you referring to? I'm gonna go prove. Am I gonna prove myself wrong? I'm gonna go show that video is unlisted. Yeah, here it is. Here's the trailer. It's unlisted. You cannot get to that unless you have the link. So you're saying in YouTube Music, you found it. So when you're going to YouTube Music, I think you'd have to be, let's see, if I go to, view your channel, I guess. Zoom this down. And is there music? YouTube Music. Over here, you found it. Now, I'm going here from my channel. So you're saying somewhere down in here, you found mine, and you're sure it wasn't just a link to my live stream coming up that you clicked on? Because my live stream would play the trailer publicly. I very much want more from you about that, Lawn Dog. What does he say? Well, maybe, yeah, there it goes. There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe not, well, maybe not from you directly, but some kind of music mix with your video on the front thumbnail? My video. Go look in your history, Lawn Dog. You should be able to get back to it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Yep, on the front. I need a screenshot of that. You should be able to go in your history and find that. Let's see if we go to here and then let's see, come to the 3-bar menu in the upper left corner. And see, I'm not sure about getting to it from here. So let's go back to, I'll go back to my channel, home. That should do it. Home. I'm still on this black screen. I'm still in music somehow. Home. Still keeping me in music. Okay, so up here I'll go delete the word music from the browser address bar. And then get back to normal size. And then come over to your history, Lawn Dog. And then find it in your history. Then do Shift Windows S and drag your mouse across that. And show me, because I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I am not a believer. I'm not a believer. Okay, Control F, Windows key V to get back to where I was. Ran Israel. I know I haven't called out everybody's name. So sorry. Alice, Lawn Dog, John, Ran, Jeff, Phil, Mike. Let's see. I can't keep reading all of Lawn Dog's stuff. He's off on another topic here, just going down some other rabbit hole. I can't go reading everything. He still hasn't given me an exclamation mark C, or a bang C, or a whack C, or a, what was the other word? Bang.
Quit chat, please.
And starts with an S. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna find my way back to this point. Get this read to chat. Oh, there he is. There he does a read chat. You also have to remember that music on YouTube is curated for the individual person, but they still show the music interest with your Johnny Be Good. Johnny Be Good. Oh, that wasn't today's trailer anyway. My John, I don't believe it. You're just seeing the same music video. That wasn't created by me. If you weren't aware of that, Lawn Dog, I did not create that. That was not me singing Johnny Be Good. So we'll let it go. It's not really worth getting to. Yeah, you come in and say something inflammatory like that and you think you're going to get me to let it go. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Kerry had an employer accuse him of being a bulldog. Grab hold of something, won't let go. Yeah, I'm right up there with him. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna come up with any evidence, Ken. No, 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 he's not gonna do it. Hey, Doug, was that reverse psychology by saying that? You think he's actually gonna do it? You kind of issued him a challenge? I can neither confirm nor deny. Watch history has been disabled from Greg M. Oh man, I cannot live with. I'm wanting to figure out how to get recall, Microsoft's recall functional. I want that so much. Yes, Tim, I have your email. It is waiting for me to address. It is one of the things on my list. You're on my list. I tried to copy and paste the YouTube page, but it's just general YouTube. You can, anything that displays on your computer, you can do a screenshot, Lawn Dog. He's making excuses. See, that's it. He's going to start making excuses. Here's back where I was at. It's not quite where I was at, was it? So that took me back further. Apparently you need to have TWS as part of your Bluetooth chip. yeah, I'm not going to, that's part of what he's been going on and on about. I'm not even going to try to catch up with that. Are you proud of me? Somebody out there is proud of me for not going back and trying to understand all of what Londog's talking about. Arnold Albert, hello. Yep, skipping. Masking tape, write it on a stick and stick it to the flash drive. Yeah, I've done that. You've this one here. Yeah, I just hand wrote on a piece of paper, cut it out, and taped it on with Scotch tape. I just like it to be nicer. I'm 67 years old. I can have nice things. I think. Okay, where was I? Do you put labels on your on the cables on your clients to run the PCs? Yes, I think I mentioned that, and that was probably, you asked that before I mentioned that. And I do it with these zip ties that I'll put on there, and there's a bunch of them on Big Beast and running around the room. I'm sure you asked that question before I addressed that. Is there okay, Jeff. All right. Control C. Windows key V, scroll all the way down. Double click on the name, Windows key V. Jeff, you got a chuckle. 200 points. Is there a label on the label printer that says label printer? You know what? I could put a label on it that says DougBetts, because I'm going to be taking this into my clients' offices. And what are the chances that I'm going to set it down and leave it there and nobody's going to have any clue what it is? It's not obvious. When you look at it, it is not obviously a label printer. Could anybody look at this and say that they think this belongs to Doug, particularly when I'm often in an office after hours? And the employee at the desk doesn't even know that I was at their desk? You know, if they see a label on a wire, which is probably under their desk to begin with, they're not going to have any clue that that came from this. So I probably should put a label on it, just my name. Jeff thought he was just joking there, but no, you might have a point there. 10,000 labels later, way too organized. Active pack session. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. If somebody comes up with an actual question of an issue, trouble that you're having, please do an exclamation mark C, because all the other stuff that I have can be preempted. Well, there's a couple of questions from the community. There's Tim Cruz's, and there's another email that I received with a specific issue somebody's struggling with. So I need to turn my attention to those pretty soon. Sheldon Cooper would be proud. Yeah, Sheldon. I'm trying to think of the name. It's just Sheldon, isn't it? Isn't that the name of the show? Young Sheldon. There's Young Sheldon, and then there's the what's the name of the show with the adult Sheldon? Yeah, I could have done a sponsored video with how I talked about that device for that label printer, right? Alice, yes, that was her asking about the password. Alice, I can go grab that link from the chat yesterday. I'm going to Control C that now, because if I don't go do that now, this was a question from Alice. It wasn't a tech issue. I mean, it wasn't a trouble that she's having. Let's go find, I'll go this way. I'll go look at my live. This is in my YouTube studio from yesterday. 3-dot menu, get shareable link, come to a new tab, Control V, paste. and then take that video forward a little bit, pause it, show chat replay in the upper right corner, and then look for that comment from Alice. Here it is. Let's pause that. This will open up in a new page, and this is sign in faster with your face, fingerprint, or PIN. Microsoft makes the point, I'm sure they do, I haven't looked it up recently, where they claim this is more secure. Well, it's only more secure depending upon how you treat it. By giving yourself a complex password, it makes it a little difficult for you to type in the password, right? But you can use a password manager. And then you can turn on the Microsoft Hello to be able to use your face, fingerprint, or PIN. Now, that has been available for a long time, but the point here that Brentech is making and what Alice is bringing up is that apparently Microsoft makes new accounts passwordless by default. So I'm not informed yet about this. New users will have several passwordless options for signing into their account. That's been around for a while, like setting up a passkey. Now you can use a passkey to access your Microsoft account using Face. But the point here is being made that it's default. So I'm going to check on that a little bit. I'm going to turn off the vidIQ because that's just a nuisance right now to get rid of that extra clutter. And then I'm going to bring this down to normal size and then do the ask button. Where does he talk about this being the new default? And what can you tell me about that? I just got to realizing I don't want to be typing stuff when I can dictate it, even for labels, right? So I just dictated that, but unfortunately I had the picture-in-picture blocking your view of it. Okay, Microsoft announced that the new Microsoft consumer accounts, not for business accounts, consumer accounts will be passwordless by default. That means when a new user creates a Microsoft account, they will be offered several passwordless options for signing in, such as setting up a passkey using their face, fingerprint, or PIN. Here's what you can tell me about the new default. Security benefits. Passkeys are considered more secure than passwords because they rely on cryptography tied to the user's device or identity, making them harder to exploit. Not true if the account still has a password underneath that and it's not complex, it doesn't have two-factor authentication, and it doesn't require any of the secondary methods. So, and now maybe they don't allow that anymore. I don't know. But that would thwart the security. A lot of times when software manufacturers or hardware manufacturers or anybody claims that something is more secure, that's if you are following their advice about how to implement it. If you don't, if you just sledgehammer your way through it and you've left some opening somewhere else, then it might not be as secure, might be less secure if it causes you to not put in a two-factor authentication. Let's see if it tells us anything about that. Passkeys are considered more secure than passwords because they rely on cryptography tied to the user's device or identity. Yeah, as long as there's no other way to get in, or all of the other ways that are available to get in are protected. Simplified sign-in. They offer a quicker and more convenient way to sign into Microsoft services. Phased rollout. The change will be rolled out in 3 phases. So it's not going to show up right now by default for everybody. New accounts will be passwordless by default. Microsoft will encourage users to set up passkeys as the preferred sign-in method. A new visual sign-in experience will prioritize passwordless options. I don't have any objection to Microsoft doing this, defaulting to this, because when it's defaulted to a regular normal password, a lot of people, most uninformed end users, are not going to be setting up a secure password. And they may be using the same password that they use on their bank account and
Read chat,
their
please.
credit card accounts and whatever else. But they won't be able to use the same visual sign-in that they use for their bank account and so on. All right. Existing accounts unaffected. Microsoft security blog, passkey demo. Okay, so I'm going to go get to this read chat, please, that just came in. See, I already got Alice's. That was me. I'm just going to copy that again and come down here and see what this last read chat was. Jeff saying, passkeys have one big disadvantage. You can be forced to use a fingerprint to open a device, but generally not forced to divulge a password. All right. So like if somebody slips you a Mickey while they're sitting next to you in the bar, they grab your phone and they use your fingerprint or your face to access anything that is triggered by that. Sure. I'm not going to worry about that too much because in my mind, this kind of goes down the road of imagining what could go wrong versus taking actions on things that have gone wrong. People's accounts have been taken over. That is something that people have called me about. Help, help, Mr. Wizard. My son's such and such account has been taken over by somebody else. That's a real thing. But I've never had somebody contact me and say that that their accounts were taken over because somebody drugged them and took their phone. So, yeah, I think the disadvantage there, if you're taking and put on the pro side of a scale and the con side of the scale, it doesn't feel like a really heavy item to me. Okay, I should do a quick scan through these for oranges. I know that I've done all the read chats. John says thank you. Tim, sorry I'm late, eating lunch. The emails, I want to turn my attention to the emails and the video comments. Big Bang Theory, yes. That's Sheldon Cooper. I like him. I like him a lot. Yeah, and my clients seeing these, labeling the cables, some of them are labeled out there with handwritten labels right now. Yeah. Printed labels, that's nice. And especially if they see me do it and see how little time it takes to do it nice. A bunch of people know Big Bang Theory. Upon moving back to the studio, my capture card seems to not be working properly. I might reach out later if you can work me in. All right. My capture card seems to not be working properly. Okay, 1 in chat if you think that's operator error. 0 if you think there's actually something wrong with the hardware. Awesome show, he says. Okay, got that. Just hitting the oranges. I was speaking of something like a subpoena. Well, a subpoena's, how is a subpoena going to be more effective for a fingerprint or face rather than a password? You're still obligated to comply. So you can lie and claim that you forgot your password, you don't know your password. Now you're in contempt of court if it's ever provable that you know it. That a subpoena is still can force you to turn over your password. And in that environment, be sure you don't use any passwords that you would be embarrassed to reveal to somebody. You know, you're on your deathbed, your loved ones are around you, you're most likely going to die, and you know there's something really valuable on your phone or on your account that you want them to have access to. And now you're going to want to give them that password that you're going to be very embarrassed to tell them what it is. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. There's another thing is how many places can people acquire a fingerprint? You touch a glass at the bar. There are devices that can read that fingerprint and probably reproduce it to open your device. So that is a more interesting security weakness for fingerprint. It works, however, I cannot seem to have it show Windows 11 DaVinci on my Windows 10 streamer, not operator error, he claims. He claims, that's his claim. Do you believe him? Jeff was the only one that answered with a 0 that I see. I don't see any other numerical responses. So nobody wanted to hammer down on him. It's probably a connection. That sounds interesting. Ken, do I have your permission to record it and possibly publish it on my channel? Possibly. The law does not require you to divulge a... Oh, really? So a subpoena could require you to apply your okay, interesting. Would the subpoena require you to unlock the account without divulging your password? Because that could be done. The subpoena could require you to provide access to an account, but not reveal what the password is. I haven't researched that at all. Obviously, Jeff has. So Jeff, I'd be interested what you know about that, if you know the answer to that. Would the subpoena require you to provide access to the account without revealing your password? I can see why the law might allow you to keep that password private, because that you might have that password on other accounts. And that would be an undue invasion of privacy to actually reveal the password. Okay, Cordius says, I love the stream with you and Carrie. Thank you, Kid Cordius. So I appreciate that comment so much. Carrie and I love hearing that from you. And really, I'm kind of enthusiastic about seeing where that goes. Could you, here's a question. Here's an informal poll. I have not told Carrie that I was going to pitch this question to my audience, because I think, and this occurred to me because Carrie has been pretty open and upfront saying that we disagree with each other on some things and we can still be friends and we can talk about the things we disagree on. I've made that point. Scott has made that point. I'm guessing that Mike's Unboxing would probably be on board with that. Here's what I'd like to see. And this is for Mara too. Mara, Carrie, if you catch this part of my show today, I'd be really, really interested to see what happened if Mara, if you would redo that thumbnail and use pictures of Carrie and I appropriately posing as I'm about to describe, and then change the title or maybe the words on the thumbnail, something along these lines. When IT pros disagree, I think that could get clicks. Okay, so if she wants the other side, she can flip it, but I'll give her both sides. So here's what I'm envisioning on that thumbnail. Do you think Ken's going to use these shots too? Now I'm trying to slowly alter my expression so she can pick anything that she wants to use.
Yes, affirmative.
So I got to be looking over him. See, I could do the same thing this way. I don't know if I came up with anything good there whatsoever. I think that would be fun. And it
Yes,
could
affirmative.
really get some more clicks on that video. And if we go further with that down the road, maybe when Carrie opens the show, it should be something like, okay, yeah, the thumbnail is clickbait. We're friends, but we do disagree. Rand Israel says DB versus CH smackdown. Yeah. Tim Cruz says he's going to use that too. Grab those pictures from me. And for those of you who don't know, I allow it. I allow people to pick on me, make fun of me, ridicule me on their own channels. As long as it's in good-natured fun. Not the really stupid mean trolls. Okay, I got to get to some other stuff. Let's see. I already did the one from Alice about passwordless. There was also something in chat today. Somebody asking a question about. Oh, here, the new folder. Oh, I did already address that. So I don't think there's anything else in chat for me
Read
to
chat, please.
address. I'll go check on that. Yeah, Phil's saying the title should be "We Don't Always Agree." Now we're intending to do more of those videos, and so far we haven't talked about focusing on the areas where we disagree, although I think maybe that's more interesting content anyway. On the areas that we disagree. I think all three of us have experienced watching the content of the other two and just say no, just not agreeing. I think we all have fessed up to experiencing that. So I think that could be really a fun thing and popular. All right, moving on. Oh, he sent an email with the screenshot. We're here to disseminate information when I sent you an email with the screenshot. We're here to disseminate information when requested. We're here to disseminate, maybe is what that was. I don't know. I'm going to check for your email now, since I don't have it already flagged for today's show. All right. And I'll just go ahead and deal with this and then move on to, I think, the other 2 or 3 emails that I have, and then a video comment that have subjects. I haven't pre-read this. This is the email zoomed in. I recognized this thumbnail on one of the selected pages for YouTube Music. So I just associated that with you and your channel because that's where I've seen it before. I did not go explore. Oh, okay. So it's not from my channel. Call it impressionable advertising or imprinted some advertising, kind of like a small word you can't get out of your head. So yeah, it wasn't my channel. I'm looking at the screenshot that he sent. So it's a screenshot that covers all 3 monitors. And oh, there. Oh, wow. Okay. Right here. This is the thumbnail. No, this is the, I don't think that's a thumbnail. I think that's actually a piece from my video. Now, what does that title and channel name say under there? Oh, I understand what happened here. Londog did a screen capture of the full image and did not draw rectangle around it. That's why it covered everything. Oh, boy, that zoomed in good. Mixed trailer, Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry, performed by Shut Up and Kiss Me. Bob Seger, Ben King. Okay, the names. Updated today. 696 views. I think this was actually music, mixed trailer. This is showing he's on youtube.com, music. Mixed trailer, Johnny Be Good. So I'm going to search Johnny Be Good. It's not good, it's good. Or Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry's easier to search. So I'm going to do Chuck Berry, go to my videos, filter, Chuck Berry. Yeah, okay, that is the thumbnail for that trailer. Oh, it's public. 466 views. That trailer is, and look, monetization is on. That's very rare. Usually I have monetization turned off. So that did not get dinged by YouTube. Now I'm reluctant to play it now because maybe it'll ding it. It's a 2-minute video. Well, I can play a few seconds of it. I'll get away with that, all right. So I'll do the 3-dot menu, get shareable link. That's why Londog, Londog was totally right. He did find my video in the music section on YouTube, and it's a mix because it's got my my desk area, my AI stuff in there. It's muted right there. If I turn on my Chrome browser audio and unmute it. Yeah, so that's less than 6 seconds, which I can get away with. Wow, I'm making money off of that. How much money have I made off of that? Londog, wow. Let's go look at analytics. See how much money I made off of that. 64 cents. There you go. Wow. What category of points does Londog get for that? Yeah, that's a pretty good discovery. I'm gonna have to make this one up because I don't have a category for that. All right, 500. Oop, not 5,000. Sorry, 500. Oh, that's another. That reminds me, I got to deal with another thing for points. Because there's been some Amazon gift cards. And there were some super chats. Now, where am I going to? I started going down the road of, oh, Londog's email. So I got that. Londog, you are absolutely right. Wow. I'm shocked. I had no recollection that any of my trailers were public. Maybe I want to do that more. John Downey coming up with a question. And John, I'd really like for that to have come in with an exclamation mark C. Now, it occurred to me that maybe some of you who aren't doing the exclamation mark C when you have a question, maybe you don't want to interrupt where I'm going at the time. Maybe I was thinking that I could put in some kind of question when you have time, or ace up your sleeve, or some way to say that.
Read chat, please.
Don't come to this right now, but when you can, here's a question or a subject. Marsman saying 64 points, I guess, for Londog's discovery. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it public. And Londog says, yeah, that's me. I don't want to interrupt. So I have this idea in mind to give you a way to make it available to me when I'm looking for another topic. so that you don't feel that you're interrupting me. That's kind of like the issue where when a technician is not charging clients who normally would be charged, you know, they call you, and Kerry was mentioning this the other day, and I've experienced this too, where they're reluctant to call you if they think you're not going to charge them. Now, every time somebody calls me, I start a clock and then I stop a clock, and sometimes they'll get a time charge for 2 minutes. They feel good about that. It's okay to do that. When we start the call, I never know how long it's going to go. So my disciplined habit routine is I start the clock when the call starts. If I'm at a computer, I can do that. If I'm not, then I just go back later and look at my call log on my cell phone and do the time slip. It's kind of rare that I don't. Sometimes I don't, just because I don't get around to it. And I decide, I'd take more time to go make the time slip than the amount of the time charge. So anyway, John was asking about, I use Evernote. I can scan a handwritten note and send it to Evernote. Now I'm getting spam notes from Hilton Hotel. Has anyone used Evernote and seen this issue? All right, well, let's go ask. Let's go ask the resident AI. I've been wanting to try out Gemini, and I just haven't done it yet. I probably should be doing it right now. So then hit the right key on the keyboard, Doug, Control V. Yes, I know I'm lying to Copilot. I know I just told Copilot that I use Evernote. I don't. I'm lying to Copilot. It's kind of like saying, no, those jeans don't make your butt look big. That. I hope I didn't offend anybody. It sounds like your Evernote email address might have been exposed, leading to spam notes being forwarded to your account. Now, that doesn't mean your email account compromised, just the email address. Somebody has your email address. They know you use Evernote.
Read chat, please.
2 people give me a read chat that they're laughing at my last little joke about lying. Might have been exposed, leading to spam forwarded to your account. Evernote allows users to save emails as notes by forwarding them to a unique email address associated with their account. If this email address has been shared publicly or compromised, spammers can send unwanted content directly to your Evernote. To stop receiving these spam notes, you can reset your Evernote email address. Log into Evernote, navigate to Account Summary page, find the option labeled Email Notes to, and click Reset. This will generate a new, unique email address for forwarding notes, preventing further spam from reaching your account. If the spam notes are coming from Hilton Hotel specifically, it might be worth checking if you've ever forwarded Hilton-related emails to Evernote, or if your email address is linked to any Hilton services. Let me know if you need more help. That's Copilot
chat,
saying,
please.
let me know if you need more help. But I'm saying it too. You can let me know if you need more help. I'll get to that read chat in just a moment. I can scan a handwritten note and send it to Evernote. Now I'm getting spam from Hilton Hotel. So he hasn't told us anything yet about whether he's had any involvement, any interaction with Hilton Hotel. Let's see, how far down is this last read chat? Read chats with laughing. Gary's read chat. Yeah. A case in 6th Circuit, yada, 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 forced defendant to reveal the password or be held until revealed. Okay, so there Gary is disagreeing with Jeff about not being able to force someone to reveal a password. Now let's go try, let me go do my favorite research. You know what I'm going to do. Put it in chat if you know what I'm about to do.
Read chat, please.
John Downey says, he has had interaction with Hilton, but not with Evernote. I don't use my Evernote email. Well, how do you feel about that, changing your address the way it's configured in Evernote? Because when you send an email to yourself, I think there's something extra. I think it's not just your email address, something extra you tag onto it in order to get your email to go into Evernote. And spammers have got hold of that. So change that email address that Evernote uses. Coming to the Fifth Amendment. Law does not require you to divulge. Okay, enforcement tools. So let's copy that. Copy that. Copy that. You can be forced not to, generally not forced, he says. Okay. Now, did you all put into chat what you think I'm going to do for checking up on that? Probably not, because you're just tired of that. New subject. Okay, I'm gonna take these, that, and then put in the next one. And I'm making the point over and over and over that I am not rewriting these questions. Now I might have to rewrite it or clarify
Read
if
chat, please.
Copilot is just totally confused. Gary says, copy the citation. Oh, did I not? I didn't, because I wasn't on Gary's stuff. Here we go. I haven't even read yet what Copilot said so far. Actually, starts out with actually. That doesn't bode well. Did I ever find a way to zoom this in? I'm trying different keys. I thought I did at some point. I'm not finding it now. Oh, yeah. So if I turn on my red dot, yeah, then I can zoom in.
Read chat,
actually, and John Downey's read chat says, I'll change the email. I use my iPhone Rocketbook app to scan a note, and the app sends it to Evernote. Good idea to change my email. Yeah, okay, very good. So there's one. There's one maybe solved issue. The court ruled that compelling the defendant to divulge the password to an encrypted file would violate his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. The government had issued a grand jury subpoena demanding the password, but the court granted the defendant's motion to quash the subpoena, recognizing that providing the password constituted testimonial evidence. There have been other cases where courts ruled differently, but in Kirshner, the defendant was not forced to reveal the password. Was he forced? See, that court case was just about being revealing the password. It does not address the issue whether they could issue another subpoena forcing the person to provide access to the account or to the file, to the encrypted file, because that could be a separate issue, a separate question. Revealing the password might be
Read chat, please.
protectable. The court granted to quash the subpoena, recognizing that providing the password constitute testimonial evidence. Well, that would imply to me providing access to the encrypted file would also be providing testimonial evidence. So maybe it would quash both. I'm going to guess that's what Gary's going to the side Gary's going to come on. It was Westlaw. That's where he got that from, I guess. I guess that's his point. He used Westlaw to find that. Okay, I think we've probably been beating on that horse long enough. I'm going to go to Amazon gift cards. If I can get this thing to cooperate with me. Does anybody know someone who's good with computers that can help me figure this out? Let's see, this doesn't expose anything, right? No, it doesn't. Did I tell you that one of the subjects today, I don't think I told you this, one of the subjects on the plate today, listen up, Ken Stout. Calling Ken Stout, are you paying attention here? I don't think I said this earlier. One of the subjects that I have is that this morning, YouTube deleted one of my videos.
Read chat, please.
For violating community standards, community policies, community something or other, for bullying and harassment. One of my videos deleted, taken down, no longer available, not even to me, for violations of bullying and harassment. I think YouTube's right. So I don't know. Do you want to hear about that? Here, this one says, Charlie Purdy sent you an Amazon gift card. I don't know if he sent one or two. Notice this 8:59 a.m. on yesterday. And he says, I don't think you got my super chat yesterday I sent on your channel. It still went to Carrie's channel. Anyway, I enjoyed the show. Thanks. Not true. It did go to me. You did. I got it. I got some super chats that show up in my account. And I can go show that. $50 Amazon gift card here. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my account. Then we're going to go to his next gift card because previously he has had duplicates. Duplicate emails have come through. And he's saying in chat that he only sent one. So I have clicked through these before and we've seen that they don't reveal anything. Problem. Apply a gift card balance to your account. Apply to your Amazon account. Unfortunately, this claim code is invalid. Okay, so I think that one, maybe he reversed and then sent another one. So that one's not going to work. Apply to your balance. When I click on that, just, nope, can't do it. No dice. Now, if I come up here and then click up on this right arrow key, or left arrow key, up here in the upper right corner. See, I knew the word right had something to do with it. It's the upper right corner. Is the left arrow. I'm going to get to that from Chevy in just a minute. I'm going to finish this one through first. So if I go to the previous email, this one was at 12 p.m. So these two times, 8:59 a.m. and then 12 p.m. So this one came through afterward. And he says again, I don't think you got my super chat yesterday. Apply to your Amazon account. Let's see if this works. And then apply to your Amazon account. $50 has been applied successfully to your account. Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that so much. Awesome. Now, watch this. Financial donations awarded 100 points per dollar donated. So the way that works is I come over here and grab Charlie Purdy right there, Control C. And I'm going to have these Stream Deck buttons set up to make this easier. Then I come down here to the bottom, so I don't have to do this part. Double click there, and then put Charlie's name. So that was 50 and add 2 zeros, 5,000 points. That's what you get right there. Thank you, Charlie. And that means I also got to go look at the super chats. Super chats. If I come down here to monetization, and then, oh, I was so certain that's where it's at. No, earn, right here for earn, not monetization, but earn. Then come up here to supers and gifts. This is a place where I can go see the entire history of super chats. So any of you have given super chats in the past, you should see your name here showing up on this screen. And thank you once again. I'll go down one page worth, and then go down another page worth, and another page worth, and another page worth, and again, and again, and again, and again. I'm not going to take the time to read through them all, but you'll see in there the dates on the right hand side. Oh, it just brought in more. Did you see that scroll box get smaller? When I get down to the bottom, that thing will get smaller if it's bringing in more super chats. Let's see. Oh, it did. It did. There's more. Oh my gosh. How far back are we now? 2022. And it again. Oh, thank you, people. That is so heartwarming. I appreciate so much. I can't read through all of those. Now, let's go see what came up recently, though, because I got to do. Chevy is in chat today for $10. Kate Corius is in chat today. Charlie, we already looked at. Now, let's see. These are May 1st. May 1st. So I'm going to grab these from May 1st. Chevy 10 and 10. Did I catch April 19th? Nope, that's too far ago. That's before I did the point system. So I'm going to add up those up for 20. So Chevy. Here's Chevy. Control C, come down here, Windows key V, add points, double click, paste. Oops, nope, I've got to do, yeah, that's why. Chevy, 20, add 2 zeros, and that's 2,000 points. He did another one. All right, since I got Chevy's already in, was this him too? That is him. I can tell from the icon, right? Isn't that Chevy again? Yeah, it is. So he did another 15 today. All right, now if I do, that's, yeah, I'm just going to have to keep doing this. I need to get those buttons, the Stream Deck buttons done. Okay, Chevy. I know some of you getting bored. He's paying so much attention to the people who are donating money. Okay. 1,700 points. Refresh your email, Doug, Timmy says. Yeah, at some point, yeah, I'm gonna have to fix this. Kate Corius has $20 worth from the first. Oh, boy. Chevy, all right. Now you're abusing it, Chevy. So let's hold off. I don't want to waste the whole rest of the show with you doing $1, $1, $1, $1. Stop. I will start ignoring that if you keep now that's going to just start becoming a nuisance. Okay, I need to get on with my actual show. You're causing me to lose viewers. There's some viewers clicking away right now because this has gone on too long. Yeah, I gotta get Kate Cordius though, because Kate Cordius hasn't been doing this. $20 for Kate Cordius. Cordius, because I gotta go grab his name. Come down here. Where on YouTube could it be called trolling to donate super chats? Yeah, it would be if you kept doing $1, $1, $1 and forcing me to go do that. That was $20, I think. So add 2 zeros. I think it was two $10, right? Is that what it was? Yeah, two $10. All right. Good golly, Miss Molly. I'm not going to go back and try to figure out if I got I'm not going to go do the $2 and the $1. No, you were just having fun with me then. And besides, right now points aren't redeemable for anything. They're going to be more interesting when I get the leaderboards configured. And the whole idea of the point system is to drive engagement. Oh, all right. As long as I'm on this page, I might as well tell you. I have told you before in the past that my channel is just stuck at 28 new subscribers in the last 28 days. I've been looking at that statistic for, I think, a couple of years. It has just remained static. And I've told you before that I'm serious about aiming for 1 million subscribers on this channel. Aiming for 1 million subscribers on this channel. So how's it going, Doug? What's going on? It has been improving lately over the changes that I made over the last month and a half. Here's what we got now: 102 in the last 28 days. I have never seen that kind of number. It's possible that there might have been an instance of that happening in the past that I didn't notice, but this has steadily grown over the last few weeks. 102 new, not members, subscribers in the last 28 days. We're going. Ken Stout. I am coming after you. When I catch up to you, I'm going to blow past your number of subscribers and leave you in my dust. You're going to be eating my dust. Ken Stout. John Williams says, yes, at Ken Stout Live. That's his read chat, please. All right. No, I didn't say, no, just say, no, I'm not going to, no. Not going there. No. Are you saying that, did I mispronounce the word? Was that a Freudian slip? Okay, yeah, Phil Stodd. Careful, that might be construed as bullying. Actually, when you read the policy, no, I don't think so. All right, I got to get on to Aiden Standing. I don't think he's in the chat room today. I don't remember seeing him. Aidan? No, I think he usually watches on replay. And this was an email. So let's see. Let's get my timer up. I'll call that 5015. I got to take that off screen when I hit the reply and give him a link, because I've got this hidden because it does reveal his email address. 5025. And then I'll scroll that off the screen. Yeah, here we go. So at the top of the screen, you see my reply where I've got the link for him. I'm kind of hating being an unpaid tech support monkey at the moment. So he says, a few weeks ago, I had to help someone. I'm going to try making this bigger. A few weeks ago, I had to help someone who had a problem where they would go to save a file, but when they opened File Explorer, the file was not there.
Read chat, please.
I will catch that later, Jim. After I figured out what was going on, which didn't take me long, as I immediately spotted the problem, they wanted to send the file via email as a PDF, and they opened Gmail and asked how to do it. Even though I had talked them through doing this about a week prior, and pointed out the very convenient export as PDF button in LibreOffice. This caused the disappearing files. Oh, the cause of the disappearing files was that LibreOffice was remembering the last location they had saved a file to, which I recall was a folder within the Documents folder called Church. And they thought it was saving the file to the Documents folder. Okay, so I got a few things to offer here for this. Now he doesn't actually have a tech issue that he's asking for help with. He has a tech support issue he's asking help with. He didn't actually form it as a question, but I'm deriving a question out of this. How can I stop this from driving me crazy? Now, I get this often with where clients will call and they'll ask me how to do something that I've shown them 18 times. I've shown them 18 times before. And inside joke for those who don't know why I did that. Yeah, I've shown them 18 times before and they can't remember it. I don't show any frustration at all. I don't try to hammer it in on them because I'm going to bill them for this time. And it's going to show up on their invoice. And when they see the invoice and, oh man, why do I keep paying this guy to tell me the same thing over and over? And then they're going to learn it that way. But Aiden does not send invoices to this person. So how can you get them to remember or to deal with? Okay, so here's what I'm thinking on this. And these are not easy slam dunk solutions, but I would teach them, listen, if you want to stop having the frustration, and be sure to include those words. If you start your sentence, if you want to stop experiencing this frustration, now they're going to start paying attention. Every time you save the file, check for where it's being saved. Look at the folder location so that you don't want to try to train them to look for the folder location if the last time they saved something, it was at a different location, because they're not going to remember that. Try to train them every time they save the file to look at the location and make sure that's the correct location. Now, some people they're not going to want to do that. They're usually saving always the same place. They're not going to, this person obviously doesn't know how to go through File Explorer and probably doesn't understand folders. So that's one thought coming to my mind. Then the next thing, let's try this. Who thinks they know what I'm going to do now? Do you not understand that hint? I'm just going to paste that, see what Copilot suggests. That sounds frustrating, Doug. It's one thing to help someone through a technical issue. It's another having to repeat the same instructions when they don't seem to stick. It's like an unpaid IT help desk gig, but worse because you can't just close the ticket and move on. People can have an oddly selective memory when it comes to tech. Some things stick immediately, otherwise evaporate. Even when the solution is staring them in the face, at least you figured it out. I'm guessing this is no. Okay, you haven't given me any suggestions. Can you suggest how I can help this person remember better? I hope I'm getting across the idea that about the kinds of things you can ask any AI for help with. Have them do it. Now, that's something that I do sometimes. I'll teach them something. Now you try it. Now you do that. Okay, do it again. Okay, do it again. Now, every time, make this conversation last a little while to try to nail it down. And then say, okay, I have a quiz for you. After you've talked about this, I have a quiz for you. Next time you go to save a file, what are you going to do? You're trying to make it really obvious that you're trying to get them to say that back to you. And they will understand where you're going with this. And if you can do it in a friendly, fun kind of way, but you'll get across the point that you're tired of being asked the same thing over and over, but you can do it in a way that doesn't alienate them or upset them. Encourage note-taking. I don't lean on that so much because I find when people make notes, they cannot understand what they wrote when they look at it the next day because they don't write in long form. They don't use their words. They don't write in full sentences. And so they have a couple splish splashes of a few words and have no idea what they were trying to get themselves to remember. Analogies, that might help. Create a default save folder. That's not going to work when LibreOffice changes the default folder to whatever you used last. And that might be the only way that LibreOffice does that. You might have to experiment with that a little while to see if there is some setting somewhere where you can set a default folder, because apparently this person wants a default folder and is used to that. So maybe that gives you some kind of inspiration, Aiden. I'm suspecting you're probably going to land on some other solution, but I'm hoping that that was helpful for you. And then I'm going to click send for the email. So he's getting an email that just has a link, but it takes him to the point in the video where I started talking about that. Yeah, Phil, I will respond to that a little bit. I do have something to say about that, but I need to get to the last read chat that I have not addressed yet. Got to get to find that. Jim at 12:20. Going to the beginning of the 12:20s, looking for Jim. I'm just I'm just glad we're not discussing the surface. Well, Jim, now that you reminded me. Oh, this is what Jim's doing right now. Oh, now that you reminded me, Jim. I think 200 was the chuckle, isn't it? Yeah, 200. I have not yet tested to see if that clip is holding securely.
Read chat, please.
He says, no, I'm poking the bear because I can. He's not slapping his head. He was intentionally poking the bear. Oops, I didn't press enter yet, I guess.
Read chat, please.
Is the clip working right? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. We're going to find out live. Might as well do that now. Let's see. I don't have to send a link to anybody. I'm not going to try to set up that boom, scissor boom. Let's bring, nope. Bring that guy down. Oh, I'm going to be so glad to be done with this thing. Move my mouse pad out of the way. My little mouse pad. Bring this guy over. Bring up Windows key, LOGI for Logitune, so I can be ready to fix the focus. And I'll go ahead and move the focus down to where I think it should be. And then keyboard camera. And adjust the focus a little bit more. Okay, there's the clip. That's the clip right there that we used epoxy to get it on. I have not tried putting any pressure on it yet. Oh. Hey, the boxes. I've got a bunch of large boxes in my car. They're all labeled with handwritten labels taped on there. Guess what I'm going to do? Do it with this. Test it with this. Can I lift the C panel up off the ground by grabbing that clip with this? If I can, then I think it's plenty strong.
Read chat, please.
Ren Israel says, no, this side up label. Oh, that box that I just dropped, I think is what he's referring to. So I'll clip the, whatever you call these things, and then pick it up. That works. Now, the way this thing goes in the computer, that clip is going to clip right under there, that piece right there. So you see how that lines up. Of course, it's not quite centered. When I turn the C panel over, then this is going to line up right there. All right. Now here's the connector for the keyboard and trackpad. And I want to point out that this has no clip on it. There's nothing that snaps it in. It's magnetic. It holds in place magnetically. And there's where it goes into. Boom. I mean, it's got that rectangle shape you saw, and so it does kind of fit down on it, but it's magnetism that's holding it in place. So I'm checking to be sure that I've got that ribbon cable shaped right. And then this goes back like that. Let's see, let me understand a little bit better how this goes. Look, now see, I pulled the C panel up without unclipping that, and it just pulled off. Because it's just magnetic. Okay, so that clip, yeah, it's on the back side of the clip where it has a lip. I'm going to focus this again. There. Trying to hold it still. If you look at where that clip is, you can tell that it's towards the back, that it has a little lip. And that is what's going to fasten onto that piece right there. Okay, changing focus back to the D panel. The panel that has the keyboard is the C panel. And the base is the D panel. The screen is the B panel. And the top surface is the A panel. Okay. Okay, and the front is magnetic. I feel a magnetic snap on all these. And now I'm going to press down right here and see if we hear a snap. No, I did not hear a snap. Is it already down? Yeah, it's down. When that clip was not fastened, I was able to pull up on this back ledge. So I think just setting it back in place like that, there was never any snap action, but it is holding. Let's see. All right. I think that's a success. Let's see if you're wanting me to do anything else on there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in chat about that. All right, let's get this out of my face. Oh. I could test that Ethernet cable and the HDMI cable. I got these two new cables. The Windows 11 24H2 is completely up to date. I had troubles with that. I have not told you anything about those troubles yet. Nothing secret about those troubles, but just haven't got around to telling you about it yet. Now let's do, how do I want to do this? I'm not going to bring it down so far. Oh, I'm still going to love that scissor thing. Bringing up the longitude focus. And then this has this protective clip on here, or protective cover. I think I'm going to keep that. Keep putting that back on. And then the HDMI cable. And since doing the updates, I have not yet tested whether the display capture is working. I was having trouble with that last time, I think you recall. And power. Okay. Oh, I got to tell you something I really love about this is that volume up button and press the power button to get into BIOS. Oh man, that is slick. I wish all computers do that. Enter key, super secret password. I've got internet connection. And let's try my capture card. Yes, it's working. Ha 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 ha. All right. And a picture in picture. Now that doesn't look like it's 1920 by 1080. Oh, it's not. It's 2256 by 1504 recommended. If I change that to 1920 by 1080, it should fill the screen properly. Keep changes. All right, so the problem I had with doing the updates, when I did the fresh install of Windows 11 on this computer, the flash drive that I was using was 23H2, not 24H2. Yeah. And so then I went through updates. When it got to the point of trying to install 24H2, it failed. Multiple times, it failed. And what I tracked that down to was the recovery partition was close to 1 gigabyte, which is huge by recovery partition standards. However, the amount of free space was less than 150 megabytes. Isn't that right? Yeah. Which is not enough. The recovery partition becomes a problem when it doesn't have enough free space. It's not so much about the overall size of it. So I figured, that's probably the problem. So what I did is I deleted the recovery partition because it wasn't from the manufacturer anyway. Remember, this computer came as a parts-only computer, had nothing on the hard drive. It was completely unallocated space. So I deleted the recovery partition, and then I installed 24H2. Now I had tried the 24H2 through Windows Update failed, and 24H2 from a flash drive failed. But after deleting the recovery partition, then I was able to run setup from the flash drive, and that worked. Greg M says, yeah, I guess I had did I have the wrong, I think I said the numbers wrong. He's saying 500 megabyte is recovery partition needs 1 gigabyte. I don't think it's quite that standardized or consistent across devices, because I've seen under 500 megabytes work fine, as long as there's enough free space available before doing an update. I don't think that's a consistent always number. Let's see if I can get anything, someone to back me up on that. Is there any standard size for a recovery partition? Can vary depending upon the system and its configuration. When RE partition, Microsoft recommends 300 megabytes, but typically 507 megabytes is allocated. OEM partitions can be larger, often around 18 gigabytes. Additional recovery partitions, whatever. So yeah, and I'm not going to quite accept that. Hello, Frankie B. Frankie B. Hey, yeah, Frankie, I'm curious about, has it been a while since you've been around? I'm thinking maybe it's been a while since you've been around. Am I remembering right? In either case, good to see you. Yeah, okay, I wanted to try something there, and I'm not seeing what I was thinking there. I'm wondering about how far back channel activity goes. Yeah, so here I'm looking at Martin Hogg, and when I scroll down a ways, it's doing that refreshing circle thing. You saw me experiment recently with Chris Garrett, looking to see how far back his activity shows in here, because I was concerned when I hid him from the channel, did I lose everything from the past history from him? And I did. I went back and found a video prior to when I jokingly hid him from the channel. And I went back prior to that to a video where I was displaying the chat room, displaying that he was there, but the replay chat, he was not there. So when I hid him from the channel, it wiped out everything, all the history from Chris Garrett and everything. The only things that are available there now on replay is things that have been since then. So I deeply regret doing that. Won't do it again. Let's see, did I already get distracted? Is there something I need to go back and follow up on? I don't think there's anything more I want to do with this computer. I finished the story about updating it, the trouble that I ran into. Oh yeah, one more piece I want to do with this computer before I shuffle it off. Gary, I see your links there. I want to demonstrate getting into BIOS. This is so sweet. I love it. Volume up button and then power. You don't have to hit a button at a certain point during the startup. This is just so simple, so easy to do. The prior times that I did it, it snapped right into it though. Are you going to make a liar out of me? Yeah, you're making a liar out of me. Wasn't it the volume up button? Am I not remembering that right? Shutting it down. Shut down anyway. Oh, you know what? I think it's the FN key, the function key. I bet that's it. Hold down the FN key, F4, and then power on. I feel like it's going to make a liar out of me again. Yeah, this is not going good. Why? Okay, power, shut down anyway. Disconnect the USB. I didn't have a flash drive
Read chat,
attached.
please.
Hold down the volume button a bit longer, Ran Israel is saying. Oh, there it worked. When I disconnected the USB, I did not hold it down longer. Power off. Just got to hold down the power button to get the power off again. Really? There. Okay, so I'm not going to hold it down long because I don't think I need to. As soon as I hit the power button, I let go of the other buttons. Oh, now it's not coming on. There. This doesn't feel good. This is taking too long. When it did go into BIOS, it went really, really quick. I bet it's because I forced the power off. So many variations. How about touchscreen? Power, shut down anyway. Yeah, it went back to the logon prompt. Went back to the logon. Oh, now what's it doing? Gary Weisenberg says, to fix time, make a batch file, run 2 lines, net start new line. Why would I need to fix time? Are you referring to the clock problem I had on Big Beast build? I don't think you're quite understanding what the problem was. Now I held those down a little bit longer and I did a proper shutdown. This is not working. Oh, there it goes. All right, whatever. It was losing time. What was losing time? This computer? The laptop? Big Beast was not losing time. Oh, he was asking about Big Beast. No. Let me re-explain what was happening there. It was not losing any time. Okay, so then I'm going to choose exit. Restart now. And then put this aside. I totally understand how you were thinking that. Yeah, it was not, Caesar, I like you. I agree with you. He says, I love the Surface products. Just don't find yourself in the same room with Jim, KJ3N, and say that. Yeah, what was happening with Big Beast the other day is a few seconds, minute and a half before showtime. This has happened twice. And I need to get to somebody made a comment on a video about that. Yeah. So shortly before showtime, the clock in the bottom right corner on Big Beast build stopped. It didn't lose time. It just, the whole taskbar froze in place. And when I tried to drag my points, or excuse me, my time window, my lapsed time window down to that bottom right corner of the screen, it actually covered the taskbar. It's supposed to slip behind the taskbar. I want to bring that up here. Yeah, here we go. So I'll demonstrate that for you here. See, here's that window here. When I slide it down to the time, to the clock, you see it slips behind the clock. That was not happening when I did that on Friday. It would slide over the time and conceal it. The clock was completely stopped. As soon as I told Windows to, actually before I was going to tell Windows to resync the time, but I didn't even
Rechat,
get to that
please.
point. Somewhere along the line, the taskbar just woke up or refreshed itself. I was going to do a graphics reset, Shift Control Windows B. I was going to do a graphics reset. Before I got to that point, the taskbar resumed, and it was on point. Oh, but Gary, you're right. It was a few seconds behind, wasn't it? It was a few seconds behind. I'll tell you, I'll eat my words there. That's what you're referring to. I'd forgotten about that bit. Now, why not? Let's see. I did a sync now. Set time automatically. Time zone automatically. Oh, you know what I ought to do? I think I had brought up that window and we would be able to see how long it's been since the last time synchronization happened. I noticed Kerry on this screen recently, and he had a last time synchronization was pretty old on the computer he was working on at the time. So what Gary was saying there, oh, did he retract that? He took it away. I was going to look closer at that command that you're suggesting. Okay, so I finished with the service, responded to the time issue. On that, I need to acknowledge this comment. Let's do a timestamp for that. I know Phil's in chat, but for other people who might read his comment.
Read chat, please.
Oops, that's wrong. I'll get to that in a moment. Here, 7065. Yeah, so here, Phil Stodd. Now we just talked about this over the last few minutes. For anybody who might click this link and come into here, he's referring to the problem that happened yesterday at the beginning of the show, where I showed that the clock on Big Beast Build was frozen. The whole taskbar was frozen. And he says, I think the time problem might be related to the StreamYard session you did with Carrie, which was on Thursday. The last time it happened, meaning the time stopping for Big Beast Build, was the day after you did the first session with Carrie on StreamYard 2 weeks ago. I remember running one of the first flight simulators back in the DOS days that changed my time and date in BIOS. I went back and looked at my stream like 2 weeks prior. It was on April 15th was the stream with Carrie. I know that because that's tax day. So on April 16th, I experienced the same problem with the clock freezing on Big Beast Build. And he's absolutely right. It happened the day after doing that session with Carrie. In both cases, Big Beast Build had been restarted since the session with Carrie. So it's hard to, and then also, why would the clock stop anywhere from 2 minutes to 15 minutes before showtime? I think it was actually on the 16th of April, it was like 7 minutes before showtime, something like that. If you go back and watch the beginning of that video, you'll be able to see the exact time that it stopped, because the clock is displaying the time that it stopped. How could that be related? That's hard to conceive. But good catch, Phil. You're absolutely right about that. Those are not the only those are not the only two times that the clock has frozen on Big Beast build. I think there was one other time. And I have no idea how to find that one. But good catch, Phil. I know I'm at the 2-hour mark in 27 seconds. How did he catch that? What is the internal clock in Doug's body that says, oops, 2 hours, time to go? Did I get to Tim's question? I don't think so. I need to get to that. Ding, 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 overtime. Let me see what else I haven't got. Oh, I haven't got to the video that was deleted for me violating policies. And all right, there's Tim's email. Let me arrange this a little bit. Conceal the email address. And then, let's see, I've got to, oh, here's what I'll do for setting this up. Okay. Almost there, doing a little more business. Okay, here we go. So Tim sent this message with the subject line saying, forward new comment. Oh, here. Can I show that? No. His email says, Doug, can you please help one of my comments on my video? Please, he needs help. I thought I would let you take a crack at this, trying to come up with a solution, please. Here's a link to my YouTube video. So I'm going to go straight to his YouTube video. This is Tim's video. Somebody asked a question on his video here, and it's from Angela Floyd. And I've already put in a link to this point in my video right now. So Angela's going to be able to click on that link and come right to this point in the video. Angela, or Angel, might be Angel A. Floyd rather than Angela. I bet that's what it is. I tried to put my tablet's Verizon extender back on and my phone's Verizon extender back on, but it doesn't work. I'm out of options. Wait a minute, what? I tried to put on my tablet's Verizon extender back on and my phone's Verizon extender back on, but it doesn't work. I'm out of options. Okay. Not proofread very well, but that's okay. Let's take, I did a Control-C on that. Then I'm going to come over here to Copilot, and we're going to let Copilot give us some starting points for this. I'm going to paste that right into Copilot. You could use any AI system that you want to use and see what it says. That sounds frustrating, Doug. Have you tried restarting both extenders and your devices? Sometimes a fresh start helps. If that doesn't work, maybe resetting the extenders to factory settings and setting them up again could do the trick. If the problem persists, Verizon support might be the best option. They could run diagnostics on their end. Let me know if you want help troubleshooting steps. So you bought a Verizon extender, Angel, call them, reach out to their tech support with the issue. If that hasn't worked for you, then give us more information about what's going on. Now, some people get upset at somebody asking a question like this without giving a lot of details. And they might reply kind of saying, well, you got to give me some details, or you got to tell me what's going on. I don't know what's going on. You haven't told. Well, that's okay. When somebody first reaches out, it's not normal for them to give a whole lot of detail because they don't even know if the content creator is looking at the messages or if they're going to give any substantive response. That's okay. Quite all right, Angel. What I invite you to do is you can send me an email at this address and give me more background information. Tell me about what you've done. Are you getting an error message? Where is the problem? Is it your Verizon phone, your smartphone doesn't seem to see the device? Give us some model information number about the device. You're going to need to give us a lot more detail for us to give you more specific response. But your first up to bat should be contacting the manufacturer of the extender itself and seeing what support they have for you. And if you can't find any help there, then, send me an email or just even reply to my comment here. I'm replying to your comment here. If you reply to that comment with more information, YouTube will send me an email that somebody has replied to my reply, and I would be able to see it. And Tim Cruz, if you happen to see that and I don't notice it, then bring my attention to it. So there, hopefully, Angel, that helps. But until I have more information, it's hard to say anything. I don't know if are you having problems turning the power on? Is it getting a power light? Are you able to connect to the Verizon towers? Is it a matter of aiming it the right direction? There's just a whole bunch of things that
Read
it could
chat,
be.
please.
Okay, so I'm going to finish that reply. Marsman, place your bets. KY Derby today. Copilot. I'm thinking KY has something to do with Ken Stout. KY Derby today. Copilot. You must be from Mars. No idea what you're talking about. The Bourbon route. Oh, Kentucky Derby today. Place your bets. Okay. Yeah. All right. Kentucky Derby. Yeah. Not really something I'm looking for at the end of the show when I'm already into overtime. Keep doing that. You're going to catch something from me. I wonder, what, I'm going to try something here. I've been wondering about this. Can I do decimal values? Can I do, let's see, if I take Marsman here, Windows key V, put in the name. We've already seen that I can do negative points. Can I do negative 0.05 points? Does it do negative? Or I'm in decimal places? Yeah, that's because that's not an appropriate thing to be bugging me about it when I'm in overtime. I'm not seeing any response. It didn't work. Okay, so let's try it different. -5. That should work. There we go. It has been given -5. It now has 1095. So there you go. A little bit of slap on the wrist. We force servers on boot. Oh, they forced the time update on reboot for servers. Oh, I didn't look at these. Disk partition requirement for using Windows RE tools on UEFI must be at least 300 megabytes. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was something to, isn't that exactly what Copilot gave us? I think it was. I'm not going to go check. Really? Some people are just surprised that I'm not checking up on that. Which types of 10.11 updates also update the recovery partition?
Read chat, please.
Gives us a particular error message for that. I don't need to go into that further. John Williams says, thanks for the Saturday live stream. You're welcome. Pretty much every Saturday, unless when I don't. I guess that went without saying, or could have gone without saying. I was trying to see if there were other oranges. I responded to that one from Phil. Yes, my video was removed due to violating standards. He did finally hear that. And specifically, the standards that I violated was bullying and harassment. Yep. I haven't told you about that. It's going to be another day. At my church, I want a whole day. I've always wanted a whole day. Whole day, particularly at a church. It'd be a good thing to whole day at church, I guess. See, I'm looking for oranges. Oh, Chevy, thank you again for the super chats. Did you say shucky poo darn? No. No, I didn't. I didn't even call somebody. I didn't call somebody a shucky poo darn. Bad boy. Not all webcams can use facial recognition. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, when we were talking about. Yes, that's true. Because I tried turning on facial recognition on a couple of laptops and it did not work because the camera was not capable. Yeah, absolutely. That's right. And I have validated that. Looking for oranges. Westlaw, citation, Evernote. Do you have a recommendation for a VPN? I may need one when on travel.
Read chat,
yes.
please.
Yes, I do. Gary says it's not hello compliant. Yes, that's what when a webcam fails facial recognition, it's not hello compliant. That's exactly the wording that it had. Okay, VPN. Carrie has mentioned GLI Net recently. I have these set up for a client when he travels. He uses one of these, and so the Wi-Fi on this. I don't remember if it. I think it can connect to the host Wi-Fi in the hotel, for instance, and then you can connect Ethernet to your device. I think also it can interact with the host Wi-Fi in the hotel or wherever, and also Wi-Fi to your device on a separate subnet. And there's some configuration that you have to do for them, and there's a variety of different choices available. But this would be my favorite: is to take this and just connect it to any Wi-Fi that you're connecting to, or any internet service, publicly available internet service, because this is going to give you the most protection. It's going to encrypt at this device before it reaches into the Wi-Fi at the hotel or the Ethernet of the hotel. If you use a VPN service, any of the VPN services on the internet, your communication goes from your computer into the Wi-Fi router or the Ethernet router of the location that you're at, and then goes to the VPN service. From that point, it's encrypted, and your location is concealed for the website that you're connecting to. That does not protect you at all at the location that you are at. You need something that protects you from your computer before reaching the VPN service. Now, I have one question mark in the back of my head. Doug, is that really right? Because now I got a question in my mind, because if the VPN service that you're using has installed software on your computer, then it might be protecting you before it goes out. So I'm going to check. You're going to see this live, unrehearsed, unscripted. Whatever, you knew what I meant. Does a web-based VPN service protect my communications over a public Wi-Fi or a public Ethernet before my packets reach the router of the location that I am at? Yes, web-based VPN service encrypts your data before it reaches the router of the public Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Okay, I stand corrected. You're connected to. When you use a VPN, your device establishes a secure encrypted tunnel to the VPN provider's server.
Read chat, please.
Okay, you're saying the same. Wait a minute. Let's configure it horribly. Okay, I think you're saying the same thing this is saying, Rand. Any data you send or receive is encrypted before it leaves your device, meaning that even if someone is monitoring the traffic on the public network, they won't be able to read your communications. Okay, so even if you have file and printer sharing enabled, well, no, see, that's not the question. However, there are a couple considerations. If the VPN browser, like a VPN extension, it may only protect browser traffic. Yeah, leaving other apps exposed. So if you have file and printer sharing turned on, that's still exposed. A full VPN application encrypts all network traffic from your device, including apps and background services. The VPN's encryption happens before your data reaches the local router, so your information remains secure until it leaves public network and travels to the VPN server. Would you like recommendations on a reliable VPN service? Now, another piece that I need to tell you about how we're using this device. We have these devices configured so that my client can connect to an internet service anywhere, and this device establishes a VPN pipeline to a similar device that's in his office. And it's establishing a virtual private network between his laptop in some hotel somewhere directly to his office, not going through a VPN service, but it's a direct pipeline, virtual private network to a device that's in his office. So I start out saying this incorrectly, wrong, for those of you who don't understand what the word incorrect means. Doug, you said you were going to hold this to 2 hours. No, I didn't. Not really. The VPN traffic between your device and the VPN host is usually encrypted unless configured horribly wrong. Now, if the VPN, well, we just saw in Copilot, if the VPN, if it's doing just browser data, and I'm really concerned about protecting your file and printer sharing or possibly other vulnerabilities just by connecting to the public network without something that functions, has a firewall functionality to it, or a, actually, I didn't want to say firewall. Sort of gateway is not quite the word I'm saying. The address related. What's that? When network address translation, NAT, a NAT function. But even that, no, the NAT function is not going to protect against other devices that are on the same local network. So we're still concerned about the local network. Who even asked that question? VPN. Jeff did. I don't feel like I did a very good job, Jeff. Let's see what Copilot says to that question. NordVPN, ExpressVPN, Surfshark, Proton, IPVanish. I recently used one of them on behalf of a client.
Read chat,
I want to
please.
say it was Express. John, let me see if I finished enough here. Yeah, I don't have any recommendation beyond these. Let's see. Do all of these encrypt the local area network traffic to prevent any potential hackers that might be on the local network? Period. In such a way that if I have file and printer sharing turned on, I would still be protected. Period. Or is that protection just because it would be using a public network firewall profile? Encrypts internet traffic, meaning data sent to and from websites, applications, online services, does not encrypt local network traffic with the same public Wi-Fi or Ethernet network. If you have file and printer sharing turned on, devices on the same local network could still access shared resources, as that traffic does not pass through the VPN tunnel. Protection in that case primarily comes from the public network firewall profile in your operating system, which restricts inbound connections from other devices on that same network. When you first connect to a new network, you should get a little pop-up that says, do you want your computer to be discoverable on the network? Something like that. And you want to say no if you're on a public network, meaning there are other people from the public there that could be evildoers. To stay fully protected when using VPN on public networks, even with the public network profile selected in your firewall, even then, it's still just a good extra measure to disable file and printer sharing. Use a firewall like Windows Defender Firewall to block inbound traffic from the local network, which would be a default on when you have the public network profile. Enable kill switch features in your VPN settings, which blocks all traffic and the VPN connection drops. Enable kill switch features in your VPN settings, which block all traffic if the VPN connection drops. That's an interesting thing. If you're using a VPN service and somehow it crashes or becomes unavailable, does it then immediately expose you? Consider using a separate secure hotspot, like a mobile hotspot instead of public Wi-Fi. This is not a separate mobile hotspot. This is for connecting to either a Ethernet or a Wi-Fi internet connection that's made available to you. A hotspot would be a device that's going to connect to cellular towers, cell phone towers. It would have a cell phone subscription of its own or share your cell phone subscription. You can buy them from Verizon. Somebody was asking about Verizon. You can buy it from Verizon. It will connect you to the internet. Now, why would you want a mobile hotspot? Because your cell phone itself can access the internet, and you can share your internet connection from your phone to your laptop computer or your tablet. Why would you want a separate hotspot? That would be if you want multiple devices, your laptop and your spouse's laptop, for instance, to connect to the internet through that same account. Now you only have to have one device, and you can do it with multiple computers. I have done that with 4 computers, with a mobile hotspot, connecting the cell towers, 4 laptops connected. Tim Sowell, some of you know him. He can tell you the story about that. Okay. And that was Jeff. I think I was scrolling up at the time for orange. All right. And does it have a firewall installed when you get it? I think so. The way we use these devices, we uploaded a custom operating system on them. We did not use the operating system that came with it. But I think I bought this one and an even smaller one. Now, this one's not smaller. This is the same size, but there is a smaller one that I bought that isn't quite as capable as this one. But yeah, they are set up, have capabilities built into them. I don't know a lot about those capabilities. Oh, he's Mars fan. When I first read this, I said, I apologize. I desire the -5 points. I think what he meant there is I deserve the -5 points. Yeah, you do. You do. But just in good humor. No hard feelings. I have an assistant, and he said he would be at work every day except when he isn't. That would have been triggered by my Saturday comment, I think. You have had too many MJs. I don't think I want to ask. I don't think I want to ask. Just trying to hit the oranges. Get out of here, Doug. Go, leave, depart. Oh, I did not check before show. Ken's going to crucify me over that. I was trying to leave. I said, I'm going to leave now. And I said, oh, well, wait a minute. Before I do that, did Carrie? No, Carrie hasn't spun up a show for today. There's the email address if you want to send a question. There might be some things I didn't get to. Stop looking, Doug. Just get out of here. Goodbye. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later.
That's all, folks.
Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a comment, join the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you dream. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. At LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts or simply where tech support supreme. Where tech support supreme. Tune in 6 days a week for Windows support, the help you seek. Send an email, leave a the chat. Our tech-savvy crew is where it's at. Not just me, but a whole community, helping you solve tech mysteries. With friends who are here almost every day, we love to chat and help you find your way. So subscribe now, be part of the team, for Windows support and more than you've dreamed. Join the fun, don't miss a single stream. And LiveWindowsTraining-DougBetts, or simply more deeply VB, like tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. Tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme. We're tech support supreme.